Hello everybody, my name is TerraRaven and today I will be your reader. On this lovely, chilling night, we have part 2 of A Horrible Chill. Now, I hope you can enjoy listening as much as I enjoy reading. With that said, I want you to all sit back, relax, and prepare to be scared.
Sometimes I hate having friends as skeptical as me. I really do. I should have known that I couldn't bring up a claim like, my computer is possessed by my evil character in Terraria and it won't let me play the game anymore. It would raise a few eyebrows, and of course, he'd have to prove me wrong. I mean, if I were in his place, I'd do the exact same thing, just because that's the kind of guys we were. We don't believe in anything until we have hard proof, and we don't take anyone's word for it, even if that's our best friend. That's just how it's always been, and it's always worked in our favor. I should have kept my mouth shut, and pretended that nothing ever happened. Well, here's the story. I really hope anyone reading it will learn from my mistakes. I used to think it was a joke, but I don't anymore. With what's happened in the past few weeks, there's just no way anyone could have done this. So, after the horrible freakout with my game, I called Jerry. We went to high school together, being the only two geeky kids. We had to stick together to survive. That's just how things were back then. We went to the same college and yada yada yada. So, I called him up. I tell him what happened, telling him either the developers have one hell of a sick sense of humor, or something weird is going on with my game. Yeah, right, man. Don't tell me you're going to start believing that garbage now, too. I will call those nice men in those long white coats to take you away, you know. He laughed. He wasn't even taking me seriously, and, I mean, I couldn't blame him. I just needed to tell someone. I needed someone to hear the story and tell me I was going crazy. Maybe that makes sense then. Well, since you can't play Terraria anymore, I'll come over and look at your computer. Maybe I can get it to work with my copy, he said. He sounded a bit more distracted than anything else. Sure, I thought. I mean, maybe it was just a virus or something, and he could get the game working again. It wouldn't hurt, right? Well, I really wish I would have said no. He came over the next day, and he brought his flash drive and hooked it up to my desktop. He started up Terraria. It worked fine, except something I thought I saw. At the time, it looked that, for even a moment, when it was flashing to night, there was a blood moon on the title screen. Jerry was going through so fast, though, I thought nothing of it. Probably my mind messing with me. He loaded up his world perfectly fine. Everything was normal. He jumped around, checked out all of the buildings, went into the dungeon. He even started a new world. Nothing out of place, no weirdness, nothing. He closed the game and looked at me. Possessed computer, huh? Then we both laughed. Of course it was ridiculous. I was simply playing too hard. Maybe I had downloaded a corrupted file. Maybe the server mod was just messing up with my game. You know, it had to be something simple like that, right? I honestly had forgotten about it for a while. I had already done everything I was planning to do with Terraria, and I figured I'd just hold off until that weird bug that wouldn't let me play the game was patched. I noticed no one else was talking about it on the forums. Probably just some virus or something. Maybe. Stranger things have happened, right? After about a week, I got a phone call from Jerry, probably calling me about the whole possessed computer thing again. His voice, though, had a very raspy tone to it, as if he had a cold. Are you feeling alright, man? I asked. I'm sending you a video, he whispered. Then he mumbled something, but with his raspy voice, I couldn't make it out. It sounded like, open it. Fine, probably a trailer for some game he wanted to play, and he was probably going to try to get me to play it. I hopped onto the computer, checking my email, letting it download, while talking to him. What's this about, Jer? No response. You sure you're okay? Nothing. Jerry? Silence. Maybe he put the phone down or went to the bathroom or something. Who knew? I opened up the video. My blood turned cold. It was Terraria, the arrow clicked single player, and it clicked his character J-Man, World 1. It was dark and he was standing on some platforms. Like I said, it was dark, but there were a few torches around him. Probably gonna show off his boss slaying skills or something. Has awoken appeared on the bottom of the screen. What has awoken? Suddenly the screen went black and a very loud sound of a zombie being slain blasted, followed by "You were slain." I jumped, then I got angry. Jerry, what the heck are you trying to do? Give me a fucking heart attack? What a jerk. I knew he wouldn't believe me, but pulling a prank like that on me? He probably put his phone down to laugh, except the video wasn't finished. He responded, it was still night. He was in a house, but it wasn't anything he created. It was 2 stories and very small. It actually looked very realistic, as if someone modeled it after a real home. Jerry has as much creativity as a rock. Something like this is just beyond him. Maybe he downloaded the map? J-Man, who are you? J-Man, why are you doing this to me? You feel a horrible chill run down your spine. You feel an evil presence watching you. You walked upstairs. There was a painting on the wall that I've never seen in the game. I don't know. He went into what seemed to be a smaller bedroom, then closed the door. There was apparently what was supposed to be a closet behind him, except he never turned around to look at it. Then suddenly the closet door flung open, and the screen went black again. Then silence. No text. Nothing. There was nothing in that closet, though, so nothing that weird could be going on, right? I stared at the video screen, waiting. Several minutes passed by as I looked down to check the duration of the video. It was only a second long. This video I had been watching was at least 20 minutes, but it said that it was only a second long. This wasn't funny anymore. I was about to close the video when, "Please, wait!" shouted from the speakers. I jumped. There was still no picture, but it was Jerry's voice. "Who are you? Why are you doing this to me?" He kept shouting. Suddenly, he was on the screen. It was Jerry himself. It was pitch black except for what appeared to be the camera's light on him. He looked badly beaten. His clothes were torn, and it looked like there were bruises along his face and neck. Then the video cut to black, and the same zombie death sound played as loud as ever, followed by "You were slain." The video finally seemed to stop. Jerry, what the hell is going on, man? Are you alright? Do you need me to call the cops? Jerry. I stared at my phone. Had he hung up? I got a terrible chill. As I decided to go with my hunch, I checked my received calls. Jerry hadn't called me. I tried calling him. The number was unavailable. I suddenly got another email from him. Another video. I mean, against my better judgment, I downloaded this video too. It was another Terraria video, except for this one seemed earlier in the day. The sun was high in the sky, and it seemed as if he just found the house. He opened the door and then looked around inside, except for some reason the entire inside of the house was pitch black, as if it were in a cavern underground. He took out a candle and started walking around the house. He walked into the back of the first floor, then went upstairs to the second floor. The house looked perfectly normal, and I'm sure he thought so too, except for the fact that, and I'm just assuming this here, but the fact that the house appeared out of nowhere into his world. He looked through all the rooms, then stopped when he got to the small room with the closet. His character stayed motionless. I couldn't understand why until the closet door opened on its own, and the light from the candle filled the tiny room. It was an exact copy of his character, except this one had all black for its eyes. Screams echo around you. A horrible chill goes down your spine. Started filling up the screen. The Terraria music started getting twisted and morphed and slowed down and going backwards. He ran out of the room, all the doors opening and closing behind him constantly. He ran outside and kept running until he ran into a lava lake. On the surface, there was an entire lake, as far as you could see, of lava. That wasn't normal. He started digging down. He probably thought if he dug far enough, he could pass the lava. As he kept digging down, he hit a long cave, seeming to stretch out under the house. he couldn't go any lower because it was all Evanstone from that point and lower. He was still new to the game, so he didn't have anything better than silver. He decided to follow the cave, probably hoping it'd lead him away from whatever the hell he just saw. As he kept going, there was a light along the right side of the tunnel. Maybe it was daylight? He seemed to have had the same thought. He kept going until he entered this large room lit with candles. I don't know how to explain what I saw. There were several pieces of NPCs laying scattered along the floor. The music got louder and became even more warped. The longer he stayed down there, a horrible chill runs down your spine, kept popping up over and over. He didn't move. You feel an evil presence watching you. His character stood still, except it sounded like someone crying. Was he crying? Was it his recorded voice? Then the screen turned black. A horrible chill runs down your spine. Screams echo around you, started filling his screen. The sound of zombies dying started playing over and over. The screen started randomly lighting up. The NPC's bodies parts were falling from the ceiling, bouncing around. He started running. Light kept flashing around him at the farthest corners of the screen. It was his character's sprite. He crawled out of the hole. He made an attempt to jump over the house. Day and night started flashing, the sun and moon constantly moving. The music got so loud I had to turn down my speakers. He moved behind the house, where there was a single grave-like hole, that I had seen at least. He walked over to it and read the sign. Here lies you, roses are red, violets are blue, upon your flesh I will chew. He ran past the grave. The screen went black. He was back inside the house. A horrible chill runs down your spine. Started spamming his screen. He ran as quickly as he could to the front of the house, except for the door was missing. The house suddenly went black. Everything outside was lit except for that house. Zombie growls started playing over and over. A loud scream played. It sounded like Jerry. He was apparently being recorded in the video. Suddenly it lit up around him, showing the pieces of his character on the ground. It flashed his character, the one who looked eyeless, and then zoomed in closer and closer, faster as the music started getting faster. Laughter started playing. It zoomed out and showed the closet. Then "You Were Slain" appeared on the screen. The video seemed to stop. My heartbeat was pounding. My chest was just in pain, feeling the drum beat against it. I closed the video and then I sent an email back. Jerry, are you okay? Please call me, text me, email me, something. All I got back was a video. I'm not a religious man, but with what I saw, believe me, I turned to God and prayed it was all a horrible hallucination. It was a video this time of Jerry sitting in his computer chair. The entire room was black except for the area focused around him. He seemed to be concentrating on something. Light focused a bit more behind him, showing the closet door. The door swung open, the camera moved past Jerry, zooming in on the closet space. It focused on the darkness inside the closet, before a loud in-game zombie growl played, showing, well, it was Jerry. It showed Jerry's body sitting in the closet. It looked as if he had no eyes, his mouth hung open, his lips seemingly missing. The camera kept spinning around the body, the light flickering around on and off around him. Then I heard something play in the background. It sounded like him, but different. I'm sending you a video now. My blood turned to ice. Please, don't open it. The screen went black. I went to delete the videos, but as you'd expect, they didn't even seem to exist. Any of them, even the one I had just watched, vanished. A few days later, the cops came to my door. Apparently, Jerry had been missing since he left my apartment. No one had seen him go home, and so they brought me in for questioning. Of course, I didn't tell them about the videos or anything else. I didn't even believe myself. Why the hell would they believe me? The part that keeps me awake at night, and is the reason why I only sleep in the middle of the day with the lights on. Jerry doesn't own a camera.